Well, hello there. Welcome back. I am so glad to see you again. Today, I will be sharing with you one of my more recent adventures to the Rocky Mountains. So sit back, grab a snack, and enjoy. Soft wind whistling, eagles cry in the distance, water rushing over stone, then my voice, calm and steady. Have you ever stood so high up that the sky didn't feel above you anymore, but all around you? That's the Rockies, ancient, bold, and stubborn as a mountain goat. My name's Michael Moose, born and raised in the northern tundra. Snow and silence, that's my normal. But even a creature like me can feel the itch to wander now and then. You know, I used to think the world ended at the edge of my frozen forest. But sometimes, the heart whispers about something more, something wild and wonderful just beyond the pines. And this time, that whisper led me to the backbone of North America, the Rocky Mountains. I remember the moment it all changed. I'd just finished a solo game of Ice Checkers Don't Ask, and I was napping under my favorite birch tree. That's when I felt it, something soft, tucked into my antler fur. A postcard. Real and weather-worn, with just 6 words written on the back. Come to the sky's spine, where stone sings and rivers remember. R. R could only mean one raccoon, Roscoe, my old friend, mischievous, restless, and far too clever for his own good. We hadn't seen each other in years, not since the Blizzard Bluff incident, but that's a tale for another time. Well, I couldn't ignore a message like that. I packed up-dried cranberries, compass, weatherproof map, and a thermos of pine needle tea and hitched a ride on the midnight train heading west. The Rockies were calling. They say the Rockies stretch from New Mexico to British Columbia, and every inch feels like it belongs to a dream. Towering peaks blanketed in snow, alpine lakes like mirrors, and forests so dense they hum with secrets. I followed Roscoe's breadcrumbs, a cairn shaped like a paw print, a feather tied to a pine bough, a trail of hoof, carved runes in the moss. With each sign, my heart beat louder. And then I found it. A cave. Not just any Kavia cathedral of stone tucked into the mountainside, veiled behind a frozen waterfall. The sight of it sent chills through my antlers. Inside, Roscoe was waiting by a crackling fire, scribbling into one of his many field journals. Michael, took you long enough. The stars are waiting. Turns out, he'd uncovered a legend. The heart of the Rockies isn't gold or silver, he said. It's a song, one that's only sung when 3 ancient totems are united, hidden across the mountains. Now, I've heard some tall tales, but something about this one, it felt real. So off we went, 3 totems, 3 trials, and more questions than answers. The first trial took us to Windspire Cliffs. I'll admit, climbing isn't easy when your hooves are made for steady walking, not scrambling up steep, crumbling ledges. But the wind called to mate, sang like a living thing, pushing us onward. The trail was narrow, jagged rocks jutting out like broken teeth, the air thinned with every step. Mist curled around the cliffs, hiding sudden drops that could swallow you whole. Once, I slipped. My heart pounded like a drum, but Roscoe's rope caught me just in time. His raccoon grin never faltered, even as we clung to the mountain. When we reached the summit, a great eagle, its feathers shimmering silver in the dawn light, waited patiently, not a statue real, proud, alive. You seek the wind's truth, she said, her voice like a breeze stirring leaves. Then trust it. Without hesitation, she spread her wings and took flight. Roscoe grabbed my scarf, holding tight as the wind lifted us gently, carrying us over the rocky spires and narrow sky bridges. It was as if the air itself knew the way, guiding us through invisible tunnels and cloud passages. Finally, nestled in a hidden alcove, we found the feather of wind. It was light as a whisper and humming with quiet power. I held it carefully, feeling a shiver run through me. Next was Ember Gorge, a place alive with heat and shadows. Rivers of molten rock glowed like veins beneath cracked stone. The air smelled of ash and ancient fire. It was beautiful, dangerous. Our goal was the flame of echoes. Not a flame that burned bright and loud, but one that held memories, whispers from long ago carved into obsidian chambers. To reach it, we entered the Chamber of Reflection. The walls were mirrors of obsidian glass, dark and swirling. My reflection showed me things I'd rather forget, times I'd frozen in fear, lost friends, moments when I doubted myself deeply. Roscoe's reflection revealed a raccoon who chased knowledge so hard he forgot to live in the moment, missing laughter and warmth. We stood still, facing those shadows without flinching. When we accepted them, the chamber softened. A gentle flame blossomed before us, warming us from inside out, not to consume, but to heal. Our last totem was the root of stone, hidden deep within the forest at the base of Mount Alara. This mountain was older than any story I've ever heard. The forest here was thick with moss, ancient pines, and the kind of silence that presses on your ears until you hear your own heartbeat. We found a cave, a hollow beneath the roots of a 1,000-year-old tree. Inside, silence reigned. We sat for hours, letting the quiet fill us. Then, faintly, a pulse beneath the earth, a soft humming, like a lullaby sung by the mountain itself. We dug slowly, carefully, respecting every root and stone. When we uncovered the glowing root of stone, the cave trembled and revealed a hidden passage. "A fourth trial," Roscoe said, eyes wide. We stepped into a vast chamber, glittering with crystals and lit by an otherworldly glow. In the center was a silver pool, and hovering above it, a pendant carved with the sun and moon. "This is the heart's guardian," Roscoe whispered. "We must offer more than totems, we must offer our truths." I stepped forward, voice steady. "I fear being forgotten, that my story will vanish like footprints in snow." The pendant glowed warmly. Roscoe followed. "I fear knowing everything but feeling nothing." A wind swept through the chamber. The pendant spun and sank into the pool. The crystals brightened, and a low hum filled the space. We had been accepted. Back in the cave, we placed the totems on a stone altar. The ground shook, light burst from above, and the mountain sang. Not a song of words, but a song of memory and life. Glaciers carved their paths, rivers danced, wolves howled, and the wind whispered. It was the heartbeat of the earth and the stories it holds. I felt it fill me, hollow no more. Roscoe's eyes glistened with tears. "It's not just a song," he said softly. "It's a promise." We sat in silence, listening to the echoes. The journey down was quieter, the air lighter. Birds sang melodies that seemed to echo the mountain song. Trees swayed as if in rhythm. At the trail's end, we looked back. The peaks stood tall and silent, as if nodding in farewell. If you ever stand beneath towering stone and hear the wind hum or the river whisper, listen closely. The mountains might just be singing for you. The end. Well, thank you for sitting in on another one of my stories. I hope you enjoyed that one. Let me know where I should take my next adventure in the comments below. And as always, I hope to see you again soon.